Chief Meteorologist Carmen joins us now in studio. Carmen, the sun has been working hard, but we are not quite in the clear yet.
Oh yeah, we know those neighborhood roads, parking lots, less traveled roads in general, there's still slush left over, and that is going to refreeze tonight as temperatures drop below freezing. Everything on the ground you see here right in front of the Capitol, whether it's snow, whether it's ice, whether it's slush, it is sticking around. Nothing is going to melt away until Wednesday afternoon. All through tonight and tomorrow it's going to be cold, and you may be wondering, how much snow did we end up with? Well, our snowfall totals vary across the state.
Good morning. It is now 7:11. Our city, as well as North Little Rock and downtown, is still covered in sleet. Some spots got 3 inches of sleet within the capital cities.
There's that hook. Literally looks like a fishing hook. That's what we're talking about. If there is that tornado, where that wall cloud is, where that rotation is, it is right here. Highway 13. That's going to be moving through Sheridan very shortly here. So if you are on the road here on 167 in Sheridan, go ahead and take cover. You and your car want to take cover because there's likely large hail in this. That severe thunderstorm warning until 6:30 p.m. Radar estimates indicating anywhere from 2.5 to 3 inch in diameter. So at the very least, what's making the ground could be larger than quarter size. We're still noticing that structure here that could be indicative of that rotation. That's why we have both of these tornado warnings that are in effect. We are already at the 3rd wettest year so far on record in Little Rock. So any rain that fell today led to runoff and led to flash flooding. And that's certainly the case. Look at our values here. Our 24-hour rainfall totals since midnight, over 3.5 inches in Fort Smith. Look at our light on top of the Simmons. You can see some of that rain that has frozen. Now some icicles there, indicating that, yes, we are still dealing with ice and freezing rain out there, and that will continue all morning long. And winter weather will continue all day long. So if you can stay home today, I would advise doing it. It is 32 degrees. It is freezing. We have northeasterly wind closer to 10 miles per hour. That wind will also be a contributor to maybe some of those limbs coming down and power lines coming down throughout the course of today. Now, radar is showing you a whole lot of different colors out there. The lighter blue, that indicates that snow. That has been falling into far northwest and north Arkansas. We have pink indicating some sleet as well as some freezing rain. Freezing rain has been reported from Mena to Hot Springs and Bismarck. The green you see, well, that is rain. So Texarkana is still warm enough that they are dealing with rain there at 36. Everywhere else is either freezing or sub-freezing across the state. So sleet for us in Little Rock, sleet for Conway, Greenbrier, as well as Carlisle. Stuttgart had some sleet. Danville still some sleet there. And we have that freezing rain down into maybe Arkadelphia now, extending a little bit farther south and west. So the highest likelihood of dealing with those power outages is where the pink is. That's where we are likely going to see most of that freezing rain and that ice accumulate from it. So 1/4 inch to a half inch plus from the swath from Brinkley down through Pine Bluff, and maybe even some isolated spots closer to Hot Springs and Bismarck. It only takes 1/4 inch to cause numerous power outages. We could be dealing with widespread power outages in those spots that were just highlighted in the pink and purple. Temperatures currently sub-freezing, 31 degrees in Little Rock, and we will likely not get above freezing for today. So everything that is falling, whether it's sleet, whether it's freezing rain, whether it is snow, it is going to stick. Power outages, well, the forecast is still high for that, especially with that northerly wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. It is going to help knock around some of those limbs and those power lines. Today, our high will be what we feel currently, 31 degrees. We will deal with freezing rain and sleet through the rest of this morning. By this afternoon, maybe a little bit of sleet and snow by 6 o'clock this evening, closer to supper. That's when we'll have all snow. It just won't be a whole lot of snow. Less than an inch is likely into Little Rock. An inch plus a little bit farther north, 2+ inches closer to Mountain Home, and 5 to 7 inches into far north and northwest Arkansas. Less of a concern for power outage there because of the snow, but obviously still very impactful with 1/2 foot of snow there toward our northwest. Tonight, 22 degrees. It's going to be a cold one if you do lose power. Unfortunately, it's only going to get colder. Tomorrow, here's the good news. No more precipitation to worry about, but we will actually be still cold in the morning, so we could still have some issues on those roads come Friday morning because of those cold temperatures and everything still freezing. Some sunshine will come through Friday. That will help with some of that melting. Saturday and Sunday, we will be into the teens. Then we will warm up into the 40s by the end of the weekend. Pat?
All right, thanks, Carmen.
Chief Meteorologist Carmen joining us now. So how low are these temperatures going to get, and for how long do we have to endure it?
Well, unfortunately, we're talking about teens for tomorrow morning, not far off from what we experienced this morning. Our low was 11 degrees. Our record here in Little Rock, 9. This was around 4:30 p.m. If you notice those plows starting to spread some of that snow and ice that's off the side of the road back into the road, that's because if we were to leave the snow pushed up against the banks there, then it would melt and then lead to more ice. So what they're doing is spreading that out while simultaneously treating the roads, all the cars behind that's going to help produce friction and melt that away. So our major roads, our interstates, are going to be in a lot better shape than those side roads and those side streets, driveways, parking lots even. And that is going to be icy tonight. For what we're dealing with currently, high pressure, that's dominating our region here, and that's why we are so dry and so clear, but it's also going to be why we are so cold. May the 4th be with you, and let me tell you, if you want to watch some of the Star Wars movies, tonight is a great movie night because we do have rain that's going to move in later tonight and then overnight. By 9 o'clock, temperatures into those low 70s. As we head after midnight, that's when that rain is really going to ramp up. Temperatures will be into the 60s then, and we're going to keep in those 60s for the remainder of the evening and tonight for May the 4th. The air show is back, and it's the first time we've had it in 5 years. Hurricane hunters with the Air Force, they went out earlier today, and they have collected data from that. And hurricane hunters, well, they fly C-130s. We're all familiar with that into Little Rock.
I would like to add to my order, besides the hot dog, I would also like some nachos and some deep fried Oreos and a nice big soda to wash it all down.
This is going to be all over my birthday.
Oh my gosh, I don't have enough hands. Luckily, I have a lot of helpers here. With all this rainfall, our river levels are looking very good, and that does include, of course, the Buffalo River, one of the more popular ones here for some floating. So if you do plan on doing that this week or this weekend, shouldn't have any issues.
Well, good evening. We are live at Bright the Night, and I'm in a snow globe, if you can't tell. There's going to be a lot of really cool activities going on. 6 o'clock is the actual tree lighting.
What has been so excessively hot and humid, it would be nice that with a snap of the finger, it could turn to fall. But the good news is fall is officially 1 month away.
Good evening, everybody. We are live here at Camp Robinson at their airfield. We have Blackhawks right behind me, and this is all in preparation for Be Your Best Day.
The reason we have auroras or northern lights is basically because that's a disturbance from the sun in Earth's atmosphere. That solar wind actually rides along our magnetic field, and it enters the north and south poles because that's where that magnetic field is the weakest.
Here is a look at Laura. Now, it made landfall in Cameron, Louisiana. That's about 30 miles south of Lake Charles as a very strong Cat 4. We're talking about 150 mile per hour wind estimates there with that moving through. It has now weakened to a Cat 2 at 110 miles per hour. So this is still a beast of a storm as it moves over landfall that weekends, but it is still packing quite a punch, and we are going to be dealing with that punch later today.